Do we ever really know what's happening? Welcome to Golden Hour. Judy, hello. Hi, Sharon. How's Sharon? Missed you, Charlotte. Sorry about that. How's everybody doing today? Let's go see some beautiful things. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for the likes. And thank you for the shares. So, Double D is asking me if I would consider joining an agency. I'm actually signed up with one as we speak. Still learning a lot about these kinds of things, but I appreciate you thinking of me. And am grateful to have you here to share with me. Double D, thank you. And I'm grateful to see all of our wonderful Golden Hour family here this evening. Love and Feeling is here. Lisa's here. Sharon is here. Sue Harling is here. Low Maintenance Liz. Nice to see you. The mysterious Sharon is here. She goes by many aliases. Sure you can. I'm with FTTV Creators. It's no secret information. Isn't this your favorite one, Charlotte? This track is called Songatina. Hey, Double D, thank you. Lisa Whiskey. It's nice to see you. I sure hope you're doing better. I hope your husband's feeling all right. Sorry to hear that. Come on, Golden Hour family, let's send some loving vibes to Lisa. Despite the fact that we have a very intimate audience here this evening, we're doing wonderfully on the gifts. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Charlotte. Thanks for the compliments, Double D. I appreciate you. If you're still here with me, it's very nice things for you to say. I don't take things like that for granted. Ever. Well, it's a beautiful autumn day here in the land of make-believe. It's been incredibly hot here the past 2 days. As a matter of fact, at one point I didn't even know if I was going to be able to pull the show off tonight. San Francisco is a very cool, chilly, as in cool as in cold, area. It doesn't get warm here very much. That's why you've heard the old expression, I don't know who said it, was it Mark Twain or something like that? The coldest winter was the summer I spent in San Francisco, something like that. Well, it's not a joke because it is every bit cold here, usually. 50, 60 degrees, so much. So, in this past 2 days, well, before I get into this, I'll just say that cool weather like this means that a lot of homes don't have air conditioning because builders don't put air conditioners in homes when it's 55, 60 degrees most of the time. This is something you would literally switch on once a year. It's been 90 for the past 2 days, and it's been very still. All that usual ocean breeze. The ocean has hardly even got a wave on it, which, if you've ever seen the Pacific Ocean, that's kind of hard to imagine. So we're in a definite, if this were a movie and we were on a ship, this would be the scene where we're out in the middle of the doldrums someplace and there's just no air and the sails won't fill with air and we're stranded. It's hot. That's the kind of weather we're having right now. And this house has been baking in the sun now. Not one day, but two. Yesterday was hot. Today was a little bit hotter even. So, needless to say, getting the heat in the house under control was a little bit challenging. And fortunately, most of my gear doesn't put off tremendous heat. I'm not using my speaker monitors. I'm using my headphones. So aside from the screens themselves, because I use LEDs, the heat buildup in the room's not too bad as long as I can get some air moving. And I said to myself, if I can't get it cooled down in here by 5 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to probably have to shut it down tonight. And thankfully, as I was hoping, the sun got a little lower in the sky and the temperature dropped 6 or 7 degrees. So it's probably about 82 or 83 in here right now, which is doable when I have a fan. I don't do the heat very well, guys. I'm not a heat guy. Sorry for the long story. I think I've talked about this once before, but I've been inspired by all kinds of different music. Everything has its own fascinating alley to it that can draw me in and keep me captivated for a while. And bluegrass music is like that. Bluegrass music is incredibly intricate and complex, and really, not only is it, well, it has a complexity that can be pulled off with a minimalistic approach. There's these repetitive things happen, and they're syncopated, which means, I know many of you know this, but if this is the beat, syncopations are happening in between somewhere. They're not happening on the downbeat. They're happening rhythmically, but they're accented to move you around in the music a little bit, is what kind of a syncopation does. Hear that? This hand is playing in a syncopated rhythm. This hand is syncopating, and this hand, because I'm accenting this note. I'll show you something else cool after this, Liz, if you think this is neat. We think in multiple dimensions as musicians with our hands. We try to. At least I do. I'm following something I'm hearing. And I'm discovering at the same time, so I've got to make my hands find ways to make things happen. And then, of course, there's the other aspect of this, which is I write music for symphony. So I think about the piano differently than some pianists do. I think of it as a multi-timbral polyphonic instrument, which is a fancy musician way of saying of diverse sound and able to do multiple things at once. Different composers use their left and their right hands in different ways. Bach was very much into counterpoint. Mozart was into a lot of melody and accompaniment. One hand would be melody, the other hand would be accompaniment. Surprised I remember that. So my music is leaning in the direction of different kinds of expressions right now, and one of them is minimalism. I've talked about this before, and this is the idea that patterns of expression have depth. They can take us someplace. It's not for every kind of music listener. It's a specific experience, you know. The song that I started off with tonight was very much built on minimalism, and I'm working on a track of this right now with a drum beat. Very, really good sounding drum that is playing in a minimalist kind of a way. A lot of open space in the drum beat, so it's not battering the music, because this music is very steady. There's a couple of things happening at the same time there. First of all, there's this. And that's not going anywhere. That's staying in there, but it's got some friends now. Okay. So that's just an example of, you know, some of the things I do. I try to think of this and this is very independent from each other. You know, you're talking about tapping your head and, you know, doing this routine at the same time. I'll show you something that's the piano version of that. This is a track I wrote, and this track is on my... You can join my email list, by the way. This is on my Mercury album. And it's called Mercury in this version. And all my music is available at jspec.bandcamp.com, by the way. So anyways, just watch. I'll show you. The left-hand stars. We'll call this area A. We'll have an A, a B, and a C, okay? To start with, A area, B area, and C area. I don't know what the orientation is to you. You could obviously think of it as right, left, and center if you want. There's that. So the left hand says, no. By itself, a bass line like that might seem like a lot of different things. Well, what it's doing is it's baiting you into thinking that that is the direct rhythm of the track, when in fact the track is going to move on you. And I'm doing that, designing it that way on purpose. Because the right hand's going to come in now. It's not complicated at all. Area C is coming in the center now. And what's going to happen here is this is going to continue. Hi, Angie. But the two hands in the center are going to come together and have a baby. The birth of another melody that actually requires both hands to play the melody, because I'm continuing this. Obviously, when my left hand is here, it can't be here. And when my right hand is there, it can't be there. That is the principle behind what creates something like this. So the trick here is the smooth transition between the left and the right hand, unbroken. Otherwise, it's going to sound something like this. Which, there's nothing wrong with that, essentially, but that is not this. And the tricky part there, for, I guess you would say, for an intermediate pianist or even a beginner pianist, the very tricky part there is that's quite a span. When you pick your hand up and you move it from there to here, and then from here to there and back again, and it's basically going like this. This is what's happening. That's basically, like, if I were a piano teacher and I was going to try to teach you this, I would try to get you to acknowledge that so that you could physically see that. And I would have you tap that with your hands. just to get your hands moving in that direction. But then the trick is to land in the right places. Does your back ache after playing for an extended period? I mean, if I'm sitting improperly, it can. So, it depends. So, it gets better. Now that we've been through that, now this is going to stop being such a broken melody, and I'm going to combine something into this that kind of goes like this. This is the motion that is happening inside of this center section here, starting now. Now, it's time for the baby to live on, to grow, and be able to live this thing that we've created in the middle, just this part, just talking about this, so that it can be expressed with one hand. To do what I was doing in the middle with both hands now, solely in my left hand, so that I can free my right. So up to this point, we've come here. Okay. Now watch as I put that into my left hand. Okay, we're not done yet. So now, hi Moonshell. Now that we have created this life form in the middle, and we've moved it into one hand, it's going to meet a new friend now on the right. This new friend is going to live independently. It's not going to follow the same rhythm that it follows. It's going to start an interplay in a conversation. But this thing that's happening in the middle, this, that's going to continue. So let me put all that together now. Ready? And I'm going to give you the announcement when we get to what I just described to you, this new encounter. So the track starts here. I'm establishing an expectation. Now they meet in the middle. and the life begins. Growing, evolving, adapting. And this is the moment. I'm mad, I tell you, mad. Now comes the bridge. This bridge is a development into a counterpoint. Starts like this. And that's how music in my world is created. But you have to understand, a lot of that is the outcome of me following a melody or a mood or a feeling. That A, B, C thing in the middle, that is what I discover by sitting in front of a piano, drinking a cup of coffee, and just being, you know what I mean? It just, out it comes. So, since we're talking about the music tonight, I can continue on with some of my other music like that and tell you a little of the behind the scenes stuff about it if you want, but I don't want to bore you with that stuff. That's the whole thing. I don't like to make presumptions that people like that kind of content, because that could be a little much for someone who just wants to hear music. What I try to do is balance the explanation up front with a complete playing of the piece on the back, like I just did. So maybe that balances it out. Why don't you take a second and tell me if that's what you'd like me to do, or would you just like to say, hey, Jace, just play music? Thanks for the gifts. This is awesome. You guys are doing great tonight. Ding, ding, ding. We have enough for me to release a track. Ding, 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 ding. Yes. So. All right. Well, this seems to be one of my most popular tracks with so many of you. This is called Thadat, and it's so the inspiration of this track happened when I was in Finland. Okay, the aurora there, the northern lights, is a very real thing. And some of this is actually real-time northern lights. That's not some of this footage. I know that for a fact, so they can get an idea what they actually really look like. It's not sped up motion footage. But this is just off the internet. I grabbed this. It's a collection of about 20 different videos. I just snapped like 5-second videos of aurora and put it together. 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds. So Finland is a very strange place. Wonderfully bizarre. Wonderfully bizarre. Extremely cold. And Finnish people are incredibly unique in the cultures of the world. Socially, the way the people are and everything else is a fascinating, very fascinating culture. I was outside. I was getting firewood every night, and one night I reached down to get some firewood out of the cord of wood they had outside, and I looked up and I was looking at that, and that's the first time I've ever seen something like that. And I, immediately dropped a piece of wood on my toe. I still remember that. So I remember sitting at the piano and hearing this. And it's just trying to, that's the feeling I felt when I saw that for the first time. This opening qualifies as something in music called a cadenza style thing. Cadenza, which means it's usually very challenging to play, but it's very, very, very sophisticated in what cadenzas do. So that's the pattern right here. So let me show you this. This is how this starts. It's a thing that's happening over and over again. Then the right hand delivers. waking up into all of that. Good night, Charlotte. Please feel better. We love you, Charlotte. That was the first variation of that song. We had an intro that I showed you. And this is the second one now. The universe is the giant womb that bore us. Stars had to explode for us to be, for the elements to make up our bodies, the carbon, everything else. Now I'll move into another movement of it for a finale this evening. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's been a wonderful evening. I'm grateful for all of you. So now, to finish up our night comes this movement of this track. And again, this is an idea of one of my minimalist creations. So, the left hand, this note is playing the bass in this band. This finger is playing the bass. Now, normally I wouldn't do something like that with one finger, and especially my pinky finger. The pinky finger is notorious for being the weakest finger for finesse in the hand. But if I didn't do it with my pinky finger, then I couldn't do all this other stuff that happens with it. And that really sounds like, if you close your eyes and you listen to that, look at my hands first. You know, that's happening here. And there's more movements of it as well. Several, actually, in fact. Some that I've never played for you. Well, I'm going to get some feedback on that, I think. I wasn't supposed to tell you that. What a wonderful evening we've had. Grateful for all of you. Thanks. We had a good night for gifts. Definitely got enough there to promote some of my music content. That's fantastic. So, despite we were a more intimate audience this evening, we still did well as far as that part of this is concerned. But the thing is this is the best part of this show, is these intimate gatherings with us. Sometimes it's just a few of us, and I get to share with you in new ways and talk about things more intimately sometimes and with more candid willingness on my behalf to share more and more about myself than I'm comfortable sharing with people. And that's because I look to you all with a sense of, tremendous tremendous contentment to be here. The feeling when there's no other place you'd rather be. I'm here with you in that thing. Happy to be there, in other words. My mind's not elsewhere when I'm here. I'm here with you. In Kung Fu, we used to say mind, body, and spirit. Body was the representation of the fist, the mind, like this, wrapped around it, and then presented like that, spirit, mind, body, and spirit, together as one, in the same place at the same time. So, Angie, you are such an amazing artist. I feel so peaceful watching you. Thank you for sharing. Well, that's about the nicest thing you could possibly say, because peace is exactly what I like to bring you. Thank you so much. Sharon, it's nice to see you. It's alias Cece. Oh, yes, we know that feeling. Love and Feeling sent me some, looks like cotton candy. Thank you. Lisa, our other moderator. That at Tuesdays and Thursdays, apparently. Right, huh? Thank you, Jace. What a gift your music is. I appreciate that. So, no encore. Do you want an encore? I don't want to keep anybody. I suppose I could play one more. It's just a few of us, right? I don't mind. Why not? For those of you who care to stay, I'm going to play one more track. And for those of you who must be on your way, I wish you good night. I'll be glad to see you tomorrow. Don't forget that tomorrow is replay at noon. I do a replay, and I'm going to do the show that happened the day before yesterday. Was pretty intense. And we had 2 really intense shows this week. So. I hope you have something beautiful this weekend to see. Beauty is where you find it. Hard times do not come to stay, they come to pass. Just gotta let go. Thank you for taking this journey with me. We've had another great week here at Golden Hour. It keeps getting better and better. My happiness with what this is all about, what we're doing together, just gets better and better for me all the time. It really does. I can't wait to see what comes next. Always something. I promise you. Always something new here. So, we had new music this evening. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to go upstairs and eat some dinner now. Thank you to all of you. Thanks, Love and Feeling. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Connie. Thanks, Vintage Valley Girl, for being here. Low Maintenance Liz, thank you for being here. And thanks for joining us this evening. It's very nice of you. I'm probably missing people because I'm scanning up the list so fast. I'm like moving a little bit and then just calling out a name. So there's probably a chance I'm missing a name in there, and that just drives me crazy. Angie, thank you for being here. That's wonderful. You're such an amazing artist. I feel peace watching you. It's an absolutely beautiful thing to say. Thank you so much for that. And I always go through the comments at the end of the night, too, so that I can enjoy all this wonderful love that you send me. It lifts me up and it fills me with excitement. Rachel, you were here. I didn't see you pop in. See, you snuck in on me. Charlotte's off to bed. I hope she gets to feeling better. Babs Bunny was here. Everybody have a wonderful evening. I'll be back tomorrow at noon Pacific with the replay. Okay? See you then. I hope to see you then. If not, I'll see you on Monday at 6 maybe. 6 p.m. Have a good evening.